George of the jungle, strong as he can be.
So agents should actually be making that phone call too.
Yeah.
Say, hey, look, there's been some underwriting guideline changes. If you're self-employed and you were trying to buy a home in the past and, running into some snags, hey, let's get together again because things have changed. So let me let's call George and say, hey, here it is,
Right. And then the thing that people say, okay, well, I've literally had some people just sit there and go, well, how much do I need to show? Well, it's like, well, I don't know. I mean, I need to know what price range you're looking in. I need to see where your credit scores are, your financials, and some other stuff. So rather than trying to get too far ahead of it without having the information, what I tell people to do is go and get your final draft. Just go file the tax returns the way that you were just going to go file them. Just have them, just put them together the way that you intended to do them. If it's with your CPA, a tax preparer, whatever. Just a little FYI, if you use TurboTax is not going to let somebody else view a draft. I mean, what they're afraid of is that you'll use TurboTax to get it to point X, Y through all the alphabet to Y, and then you'll go and you'll download it and take it somewhere else and not have TurboTax do the filing and all this other stuff. So it's tough to look at a draft if you're using TurboTax or Quicken Tax Services. But all I want to do is I just want to see the draft that basically you and whoever's preparing your taxes that you're in consensus with, that this is about where it would be if I took every deduction or however you want to do it. And then we'll look at that number and just kind of, okay, that one might be good enough. That one could be good enough. And we just leave it alone. But if it's not, and I know that, well, I'm thinking about trading up, maybe getting into a $500,000-$600,000 home. Okay, well, this is how much I get from this house. Maybe you don't even have to sell that house. Maybe you can trade up and convert this one to a rental, or you can buy the next one and you don't have to, you can move out and then go back and get this house, staged and whatever else you need to do to put it on the market. There's just a lot of things that if your financing is nailed down and you know exactly where you're at and what you need to do for what you potentially want to do, you're putting yourself in a much better position in a market that's as competitive as we are now. So it's good to get everything lined up and ready, even if you think it might be October before you do it, because you file your tax return in March, you're stuck with that number until next year.